This is Gentle Flow Yoga level 1.5. It's a level 1.5 because it's a little bit more challenging than a level 1 in that we do more balancing and strength elements, but it's not quite a level 2. It is a Hatha and Vinyasa style practice. Hatha meaning mind-body yoga, where we take time and poses to feel what we're doing while we're doing it, increasing that awareness, and also Vinyasa, which is the practice of flowing from pose to pose guided by the breath. So both elements are present. The only prop that you may need in this practice is a block. So if you do have a block, please get that now. For my yoga people from my studio, I have the bite block here. And if you don't have a block, it's fine. It's not a necessary prop, but go ahead and get that, roll out your yoga mat, and we shall begin. We're going to begin this practice in the seated position. So get comfortable in a seated position and we'll do our warm-up top down. So take a moment to roll your shoulders back and down, let your spine grow nice and tall. And we'll begin moving the head and neck. So with an inhale, stretch even taller out of the shoulders, and as you exhale, draw your chin in towards your chest, lengthening up through the back of the neck to feel that stretch down the back of the neck. And then with your inhale, gently lift your chin, shoulders stay soft and down till you feel a gentle stretch move up the front of the neck, and even release the jaw at the top here. And we're going to do that 2 more times. With an exhale, chin to chest, lengthening up through the back of the neck. And with the inhale, lifting the chin, shoulders stay soft and down. And then 1 more time, exhaling, chin to chest. Inhaling, lifting through the chin. Letting that stretch move all the way up into the jaw. And then this time, as you exhale, bring your chin back to your chest. Lots of length up through the back of the neck. And with your next inhale, take your head a quarter roll over to one side till you feel the stretch down the side of the neck. And then as you exhale, swing back center. And inhale, quarter roll to the other side. And we'll go back and forth with that 2 more times. Exhale, center. Inhale to the side. Taking about a 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale. Plenty of time to feel what we're doing while we're doing it. To let our efforts in these poses take effect. Here we're lengthening, stretching the neck, warming up. 1 more time each side. Back center. Quarter roll to the other side. And then back center, and bring your head and neck back to a neutral position. Checking again in with your posture, shoulders roll back and down, spine's nice and straight. We're going to move into the chest and upper back with a seated cat-cow. So as you inhale, draw your chest forward, gently squeeze the shoulder blades back, lift the chin slightly, and then as you exhale, round out your back. Tuck your chin, stretch across the upper back. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, kind of a cow pose, seated cow, and exhale, seated cat. 1 more time. Inhale, shoulders are back and down, open up across the chest. And as you exhale, opening up across the back. And then back to a seated posture. Again, checking in with your spine. Hands now move to the sides of your body. And with an inhale, you're going to sweep your arm up and over. Letting that inhale fill up underneath the ribs, giving that nice stretch from the inside out. And as you exhale, release. Switching to the other side here, inhale up and over. And as you exhale, release. 2 more times each side. Inhale. Feel that nice stretch. Exhale, release. Opening up around the ribs so we can take deeper, fuller breaths that are not obstructed by tight, tense muscles. Good. Let's go 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then coming back to a nice straight spine, we're going to ease into a seated twist. Bring in your left hand over your right knee. Plant your right hand behind you for support. Shoulders are softened down, and take the twist, looking over your back shoulder. Now here, we also want to keep space across the chest. We don't want to close in the chest. Nice open across the chest. Tailbones rooted down. Gentle twist. No need to push hard here. We're in the warm-up phase of this practice. We're just trying to get energy and attention to move throughout the body. And then come back center, and we'll set that up for the other side. So right hand goes over left knee. Shoulders are back and down. Left hand is behind you for support. Keeping that spine nice and tall. We don't want to slouch in and have a distorted twist. Nice, tall, long spine. Giving that nervous system a good squeeze. One more breath. And then making your way back center. Now we'll move down to the low back and top of the hips. Here in Sukhasana, start to walk your hands forward, easing into a forward fold while keeping your tailbone reaching for the ground. And then you can relax the head and neck until you feel a nice stretch and release in the low back and top of the hip area. And stay present with the breath. That's the Hatha style of yoga. Feel what you're doing while you're doing it. As you exhale, feel that muscle tension start to soften and letting go. And then we'll walk the hands over to one side, placing the opposite hand on top. That's going to draw a little bit deeper stretch in the one hip. Take a breath, and as you exhale, soften and release tension and tightness. Mindfully engaged in our warm-up. And then bring yourself back center and over to the other side. And again, opposite hand goes on top to draw a little bit deeper stretch in the opposite hip. Tailbone still reaching down. And then walk yourself back center. Bringing your body upright. Hands now move behind you. We're going to take just a gentle counter stretch. Fingers point away. Shoulders roll back and down. With an inhale, give a little lift. Open that heart space. And then back to neutral, and we're going to switch the leg in front in this Sukhasana, crisscross posture, because this will give a different sensation for the low back and top of the hips, and we want to keep it balanced. So hands again move in front. Start to ease yourself back into that forward fold. Find a nice spot where there's some sensation, but nothing overwhelming your body in the warm-up. And a couple breaths to let this pose do what it needs to do, which is soften and release muscles, increase circulation and flow of energy where that tension has blocked it. And then hands go over to one side with opposite hand on top. And then back center. And over to the other side, opposite hand on top. Taking your time, relaxing, walk yourself back center, and bring your body upright. And then we'll take that counter stretch again. Hands go behind, fingers point away, shoulders roll back and down. Inhale, lift the heart, relax the head and neck. And then make your way back to neutral. We're going to continue down the body with the front side of the legs. So come on over onto your belly. And you can fold your arms underneath your head or chin, however you want to position yourself here. I have to stay lifted because of the microphone slightly, but feel free to relax into that. And we'll start with the quad and hip flexor on the left leg. So bend your left leg in, reach back for foot or ankle, and then gently draw that heel down towards your hip. On that next breath, mindfully press your hip bones and your thighs down towards the floor for a little bit more lengthening through the front side of the leg. And again, you can relax your head and neck down if you like. If you have very open and loose quads and hip flexors, keep the hip bones down, but you can lift the knee off the ground a little bit if you're not feeling any stretch or release here. And let's stay for one more breath. Easing that heel to the hip. And then you're going to release that leg and you're gonna slide the left knee up into a half frog position. So the knee comes up in line with the hip, the foot is flexed. And again, you can relax down as much as comfortable. And just let the inside of the hip and inside of the leg start to release. This is often people's sleeping posture, so this can be quite comfortable. Stay engaged with the breath. There's no passive yoga. We don't want to tune out and get distracted. We want the actual opposite, where we stay engaged. So stay with your breath. Feel the release. One more. And then slide that leg back in line, and we'll switch to the other side. So bend your right leg in, reach back for foot or ankle, easing the heel down to the hip. Again, you can relax as much as you like, head down. If you need that little extra, keep the hip bones anchored to the floor, but feel free to lift the knee off the ground a little bit. Only if you need it. Deep breath. And then we'll release that foot and ease into the half frog on the right side. Moving your leg to a right angle, foot's flexed. Making any adjustment to that posture that serves your body, depending on your flexibility. There's no right or wrong in these postures. You want to work with your body as it is in any given moment, which, as you know, can change day to day. One day things will feel nice and loose and comfortable, and the next day everything's stiff and tight, and just be where you are. One more breath. And then ease that leg back in line. And we're gonna set up for 2 cobras and a king cobra. So position your hands behind you, roll the shoulders back and down, elbows point back to your feet. And when you're ready with an inhale, we're slowly gonna peel the upper body up into a cobra. Letting the inhale take us to the top. And then as you exhale, release it back down. Legs are anchored to the ground. Let's do that again. Inhale, shoulders draw back, elbows point back. Good stretch for the spine, and release it. Now this time, if you want to add a little extra, come up to the cobra, but also bend the knees with an inhale coming up, drawing the toes towards your head for a little more stretch in king cobra. And then release. And then from here, with an inhale, come up to tabletop. Curl your toes under, and as you exhale, make your way into a downward facing dog. Finding my mat is a little bit slippery right now. It's a new mat for me. I have to break it in. We'll stay one more breath in down dog, and we're gonna do a low flow here. So when you're ready with an inhale, inhale to tabletop. Exhale, belly to the floor. Inhale back to cobra. Exhale, release it. Inhale to tabletop. And then exhale back to downward dog as soon as I try to get the slipperiness off my hands. You do not want to slip out of a downward facing dog. One more breath. You can pedal the heels, bend the knees, shift around as we're warming up the back of the legs. And then we'll go again. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, belly down. Inhale into your cobra. Exhale, release it. We're getting a lot of energy flowing in this modified sun salutation here. Also continuing to warm up the back of the legs, which we take a little extra time with because hamstrings tend to be very tight. One more breath here, and then we're going to drop down to tabletop. And we'll add in another warm-up element that builds a little bit more heat for the body and also a balance element. So from this position, we're going to head into tiger pose, extending the left arm and the right leg straight out. Now we want the arm up by the ear and the heel up by the hip. The belly is drawn slightly in to support the core and also strengthen the core. And we're going to hold for just 2 more breaths. then we're gonna go into tiger pose with movement. So inhale, lift, and exhale, draw elbow to knee. Inhale, lift and stretch. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lift and stretch. One more time, elbow to knee, but then come back, extended, bend the knee, reach back for foot or ankle, and draw the heel away from the hip. Adding in a balance element here. We'll hold just briefly, kicking the heel away from the hip, belly's drawn in, strength, balance, stretch, and then release, and back to tabletop. Let's flow one cow and cat with an inhale cow and an exhale cat. Back to a flat back, and we're gonna do the same on the other side. So extend now your right arm and your left leg straight out. Arms in line with the shoulder and the ear. Heels in line with the hip. Belly's drawn slightly in. Holding for 2 more breaths. Little strength, little balance, all good and important elements for our well-being. And then here we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw elbow to knee. Use the core, draw in. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. This time, reaching back out, bending the knee, reaching back for foot or ankle, and drawing the heel away from the hip. You can flex the foot here, kicking that heel away. Strength, stretch, balance. This is challenging. One more here. And then we release. Back to tabletop. Flow a cow and a cat to let that energy just start to smooth out. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. This time we're going to inhale to cow and exhale to downward facing dog. Pausing here for a moment. Again, stretching the back of the legs, lengthening the spine. And then we're going to walk the feet to the hands. Pausing in a standing forward fold. We have one more element of our warm-up, and that's to warm up the outer thighs. So from here in the standing forward fold, maybe give the head a shake yes, shake no. You can place opposite hand on opposite elbow and take a moment to sway if the back of the legs are still a little tight and tense. And then we're going to relax the hands down and bring them up to the lower leg or to the thigh, wherever you are, to have a flat back, a right angle at your hip. So wherever they land on your body, shoulders are back and down. And you're going to bend the left knee in, keeping the hand on the left thigh, and then with an inhale, sweep your right arm up, following that hand with your eyes. You're gonna feel a nice stretch along the outside of the leg. So left knee's bent, right leg is straight, twisting to the right, pressing down through that right foot. You can lower that hand too if you don't want to have it stretched up there. And then release back out. Inhale the flat back, long spine, and then bend the right knee in, sweeping the left hand up, straightening the left leg. Twisting to the straight leg side, holding and breathing. And then unwind back center. Let's take one centering stretch here. And then as you exhale, soften back in. Nice deep breath. And then from here, we're gonna come up to standing. I like to sweep my arms wide, using my hips to bring myself up with a nice stretch. And finish, release to mountain pose. So that's the warm-up phase, taking a moment to check in, noticing that you probably feel energy moving more smoothly through your body. We're gonna go into the standing series phase. This is mainly the strength phase and flexibility. We're gonna do 3 sets of standing poses. The first one, we're gonna start in tree pose. I'm gonna come to the side of my mat. Shoulders back and down, spine's nice and straight. We're gonna head into tree pose, bringing the right leg up. So left leg is planted down, right leg is up, place it on the inside of the thigh. It can be down by the ankle, you can have a kickstand, whatever feels right for your body. Hands come heart center, shoulders are back and down, spine's nice and straight. Everything is moving towards the center in tree pose, growing towards the center. So side bodies move center, heart lifts, head's tall, knees drawn back, tailbone slightly tucked here, creating some space for the hips. Get back into this over here. This is going to lead into our standing series, but taking a moment with a balance. And you can reach your arms up, you can open the hands, whatever feels good. And then do bring your hands back center as we transition into a warrior one. Stepping that right leg back, giant step back, plant that foot down, maybe keep your hands low while you adjust your feet, finding the right amount of space. And then reach your arms up strong into the warrior one. Warrior one is a strength pose. It creates courage in its strong nature, strong arms, side body still moving center, back heels pressed down, front knee is going over the ankle. And again, in Hatha Yoga, take a moment. Feel what you're doing while you're doing it. Let all that energy move into the posture, all your awareness. One more breath. We're staying about 5 breaths in these poses. And then opening into warrior two, rotating the hips, the back foot will pivot as well. Arms go parallel to the floor, and then the head turns back so that you gaze out past that middle finger on the front hand. Soft gaze, knees still over the ankle, tailbones tucked to feel that nice open nature. Back leg is spiraling open, and the muscles are gently hugging the bones for stability in these postures. The gaze is steady, we're focused. One more deep breath here. And then we're going to drop the back arm behind our back, turn the front palm up, keeping this nice bend in the front knee, reach up and over right out of the waist. So from the waist up, tailbone still tucked, reaching up, opening that side body, gazing up. Good. Strong through the legs, center through the body, reaching. One more breath. We'll take this into extended side stretch. So this top arm, the forearm moves to the thigh. The back arm sweeps up over the head. You can rotate the body to gaze into that arm reaching up. We're making roughly a diagonal line with the top side of our body. So hips are dropped, so the knee's still over that ankle. One more breath here. And then we're going to take revolved extended side angle. Top hand comes down by the front foot. Come up on your back toe. Press through the back heel. Continue to spiral the body, sweeping the left arm up. Shoulders are down the spine. Front knee still right over that front ankle. Nice deep breath. And then release that hand down by the front foot. And we're going to step back to a downward facing dog. Taking a moment here, lifting the tailbone, feet parallel to one another, and we're going to take a low flow. So with an inhale, come to tabletop. Exhale, lower the belly down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, release it. I love this flow. It's all the elements, but at a lovely pace. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. From here, walk the feet back to the hands. Taking a moment to relax in the forward fold. And then we're going to make our way back to standing any way you'd like to come up. And release. Okay. We're going to do that same sequence on the other side. I'm going to face the other way. So here, mountain pose first. Getting connected, getting grounded, feet pressed down. Mindfully lifting up through the spine and then easing into tree pose. Bringing the left foot up on the inside of the right leg. Hands come heart-centered. Once you feel your balance in here, we all have that one leg that is so much easier to balance on than the other one's the struggle, which of course, when our body is struggling on one side, that's what takes our attention. So we don't want to ignore that. We want to lean into it. Knees drawing open, tailbones tucked. If you want to take more space, you can reach the arms up. We try to soften our breath. Sometimes poses that are hard, we then shorten the breath and we get like too intense. And we want to keep that equanimity, that balance of softness with our effort. Effort and ease. Then we're gonna step back into a warrior one. I'm gonna turn to the side, which also helps me since I was falling out of the posture. Stepping back into a warrior one. So now right leg is forward. Bending into that right knee, arms reach up, shoulders are soft and down. That knee is right out over the ankle, aimed out kind of about the second toe. We don't want that knee to drop inside. Strong legs. Alignment is important because it opens the proper energy channels to flow. We don't want to get too fussy about it, but we want to be mindful of proper alignment. One more breath here. And then it's warrior two. Spiraling the hips, which will open that back foot. I need more space here. Arms open parallel to the floor. Turn and look out over the fingers. Knee draws open, tailbone tucks. At any time when you feel your posture isn't quite serving your body, make that adjustment. We don't have to get these right. It's not about right or wrong. It's about working in these postures so we can reap the benefits of what we're doing here. Let's relax those shoulders down. Then we're going to ease into reverse. So drop your back hand behind your back, turn the front palm up, reaching up, looking up. Tailbone still tucked. Nice deep breath. Sometimes we come out of that bend on this posture. Keep those strong legs, solid foundation. Extended side angle is next. Reaching out for that front thigh. Back arm sweeps up and over, turning to look up into that arm. Pressing through that back heel. Tailbone still tucked. I do a lot of verbal cueing when I teach because I want you to have those little bits that can make this even better for your body. And then revolved extended side angle. Top hand comes down by the front foot, up on the back toe, spiral open, reaching up, pressing through the back heel. Front knee still right over that front ankle. Deep breath. And then we're going to bring the hands down. Stepping back again to downward facing dog. And that nice low flow to smooth everything out. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, lower down. Shoulders go back, elbows point back. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release it. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale to downward facing dog. And then walk the feet back to the hands. Relaxing in a forward fold for a moment, giving that nice extra stretch here. And when you're ready to rise, come back to standing. And release. So that was our strength-based sequence of standing poses. Our next one is going to go a little bit deeper into flexibility. And then the third one is a combination. So this one, we're going to be using crescent lunge. I'm going to start this way, and we're going to start by stepping back with the right leg into a high crescent lunge. So when you're ready, right leg goes back. That means you're staying up on the back toe and the back knees pointing to the floor rather than a warrior one where that posture's more open. Now, if you want to do this whole thing with the knee down, absolutely that is your choice. I like to start it this way and then drop the knee. We're going to bring the hands to the back of the head. Shoulders are going to draw back and together, elbows are going to draw back. We're going to press the fingers into the head and the head into the fingers. Again, feel free to drop the knee. This is a nice place to do it, especially if the balance is a little bit too much. Hips are dropped down, heart's lifted, fingers press into the head and the head into the fingers. This is undoing those rounded shoulders. Nice deep breath here. One more. And then we're going to release the arms out, pressing the palms away, and then we're going to twist. So bring your right hand over your left knee, Left arm wraps behind you, shoulders are soft and down, and twist and gently gaze behind you. Again, this can all be done with that back knee up. That's one way to change the level to suit you. Again, space across the chest. We don't want to collapse in on our twists. Nice and open. Deep breath here. And then we're going to unwind back center. Sweep the arms up to center the whole posture. Hands now come inside the front foot. Front foot, toe heels out a bit. If you're on a regular mat, it would go to the edge of the mat with the toes angled off the mat. And then here again, you can lift the back leg. You can keep that back knee down. Hand can go to the thigh. This is often called lizard pose. Kind of looks like a creepy lizard on a rock. Shoulders back and down. So we're just taking a gentle twist, releasing a little bit more through the hip. This typically feels amazing. Lots of stretch and release happening here. And we'll stay one more breath. And then, toe heel back in line. Stability before movement always. We want to be as lined up and as stable as possible before we move our bodies. And then we're going to step back to downward facing dog and take that low flow to smooth it all out. From here to tabletop. Table to belly down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release it. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Good. And then walk your feet to your hands. Take your time. Take as many steps as you need. And we'll rise to standing. I like to finish out the postures. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to face the other way. I think that's the best view. So shoulders back and down. Nice straight spine. Let's get into those deep stretches. This time, the right leg is staying forward. We're stepping back with the left. Good. High crescent lunge. Arms come up. Hands go to the back of the head. Shoulders draw back. Elbows pull back. Chin lifts slightly. Fingers press the head into the fingers. You're strengthening across the whole upper back. And again, drop that back knee if you like. Does not matter. This is for your body. Make your adjustments. One more breath. And then we're going to release the arms out. Gentle push away, releasing energy, and then wrapping into that twist. So left hand over right thigh, right arms behind you, shoulders soft and down, taking the twist. Looking over the back shoulder. Nice deep breath. Good. Ease still in that crescent lunge. And then coming back center, sweeping the arms up. Hands go inside the front foot, toe heel out, creating a little bit more space. Again, you can lift through the back leg. Hand comes to the thigh, gently take that twist. You can keep the back knee down. I tend to always drop my knee on this one. I like the groundedness since we're going pretty deep into that twist. More stability, the better. Feel what you're doing while you're doing it and respond to that feeling. Always asking more, less, or completely different, and honoring what your body's telling you. And then unwind back center. Toe heel back in line. Step back to your downward facing dog. Taking a moment here. Nice centering flow. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, belly down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release it. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Walk your feet to your hands. Taking a moment here. And then rising to standing. And we'll go into our third series of the standing postures, which is a lovely combination of stretch and strength. And we're going to start, again, the top of the mat. Let's see. I think we will start here. Shoulders back and down, spine's nice and straight. We're gonna ease in through warrior one, just through transition, warrior one and warrior two to get into this posture. So from your mountain pose, we're gonna take a giant step back with the right leg into a warrior one. You of course do not have to do the same leg that I do. It just helps me with cueing right and left if I say it out loud. Warrior one to warrior two. Again, we're just using these as transitions. To get the feet in the right spot, now we're headed to five-pointed star. And if they didn't land where you want them for this, feel free to make adjustments. Here, we're gonna lower into a yoga squat. So hips are gonna gently drop. My feet are turned slightly out. You can adjust yours, but you want the knees to gently pivot out so they stay aligned with the balls of the toes. Tailbones dropped. We can add here, bringing hands to the back of the head again. Tailbone slightly tucked. You don't want to over-exaggerate the pelvis here, but you want a straight spine. You certainly don't want your tailbone to be pointed towards the back wall or behind you, because that's a distorted spine. So it's just slightly tucked for alignment. Everything's moving center and lifting up. Strengthening that upper back. One more breath. You can go as low as you like in this. And then hands come down to the thighs. Sweep your right arm up and over, taking a side stretch. And release it, just with the breath. Inhale, up and over. And release. Now we're gonna twist. Dip the left shoulder in, right shoulder up. Back center. Twist the other way. These are just feel-good modifications to this pose. Come back center. Sweep back to five-pointed star. Now here, do bring your feet parallel to one another. And then bring your hands behind you, interlock your fingers. Draw the shoulders back, stretch the arms nice and straight, and hinge forward into a wide angle forward fold. Stretching the back, and then hands come down. Taking a moment here, feel free to widen the stance if that feels good to you, lifting the tailbone up, trying to keep the hips in line with the ankles. We don't want the hips to sit back too far. And then you're gonna walk your hands in front of you so they're right underneath your face. Left hand moves right under the nose, and right hand sweeps up. From here, release back down, and switch to the other side. This twist feels really good. Again, another just modification to get these poses to feel even better. Hands come back down. Walk yourself back into that forward fold. Take a deep breath here and release through that exhale. Then we're going to flow out just like we came in. So inhale back to five-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, your warrior one. And then with your exhale, release your hands to the floor and we'll take the low flow. Step back, downward dog. Combination of Hatha and Vinyasa. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, belly down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release it. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale back to downward facing dog. And then walk your feet to your hands. And with an inhale, sweep up, stretch up. And exhale, release. Get my microphone pack here. And I'm covered in cat fur, which you might not be able to see. Okay, let's walk up to, I'm gonna switch sides for camera, you do not have to make an adjustment. Shoulders back and down. Again, we're gonna ease in through warrior one and warrior two. So step back now with your left leg, warrior one. Taking a moment to adjust your stance. And the warrior two, starting to prepare the hips. Big adjustment for me there. Five-pointed star. I think I like my stance. Drop the hips. Tailbone slightly tucked, knees are pivoting out. Hands go back to the back of the head. You can keep your hands down if your upper body has had enough of this. I can't get enough. My body wants to do that rounded shoulder so much, so I have to do some extra work to make sure that doesn't happen. So I keep a nice straight spine. Elbows draw back, tailbone slightly tucked, tall spine, one more breath. And then hands here. Inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, release. Twist, these feel good. Back center, twist. Back center. Sweep back to 5-pointed star. Release your hands behind your back, interlock fingers. Inhale, lift up, stretch up. And exhale, hinge at the hips, coming forward, letting the arms drop over. Strong, straight arms, relax head and neck. Deep breath. And then release the hands down. Walk them out so your back is flat. Left hand moves under the nose. Right hand sweeps up. Gently release. Switching sides. And release. Walking yourself back center. And again, we're gonna flow out. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, warrior 1. And exhale, release. Stepping to downward facing dog. We're gonna flow down to a belly down posture. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, belly down. We're gonna take our cobra. Inhale. But then exhale, release back to the floor. Good. Now we're gonna set up for locust pose. Again, strengthening for the back. Unbelievably important posture to do for your well-being. So from here, feet come together. I'll make sure I'm positioned good here. Feet come together, hip bones are anchored to the floor. Arms along your sides with your palms facing you. You're going to draw your shoulder blades together. You're going to lift up through the upper and lower bodies, reach the fingers for the feet, stretch up through the top of the head, and eyes gaze forward and down. We're holding for 3 breaths. When I talk, it's hard for me to gauge the breath, so I'm kind of guessing. And then, to release out, relax into crocodile. Fold your arms in, turn your toes out, heels in, a little wider stance, and then relax. You can turn your head to the side, you can do whatever feels good to you. Again, I'm a little limited with my microphone issues. Take a deep breath, soften. Again, balancing out that effort and ease. Put in effort, take ease. Let's go again. We're gonna bring the feet back together. This time we're going up 1 level. Hands go behind your back, and if you like, interlock your fingers. If you don't, stay with that first version. Draw the shoulders back, palms squeeze together, lift the upper and lower bodies. Neck is nice and long. We're stretched from head to toe. We're engaged through the whole back side of the body. Deep breaths. 3 lovely deep breaths. And then it's back to crocodile. Effort and ease. Always pushing the edge a little bit as well with that effort. Just a little bit out of your comfort zone. And over time, that does make significant progress. 1 more breath here in lovely crocodile pose. And then we're gonna take that up a level. You, of course, are welcome to do either of the 2 previous versions, but I'm gonna offer bow pose now. So bringing your feet together. We've been preparing for this for a lot of this practice. Bend the knees, flexing the feet. You're gonna reach back for ankles. You're gonna draw shoulder blades together, kick the heels away from the hips, and lift into bow pose. Eyes gaze forward. Deep breath, which forces you to rock. Big inhales filling up. Lifts you a little, and then those exhales you release. And then relax back down. Crocodile. Lovely crocodile. And take a breath here. And then we're gonna make our way into tabletop. I'm gonna take 1 cow and cat, just to make sure that spine is nice and relaxed. Inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. Back to a flat back, and we're headed into thread the needle. So starting by scooping the left arm underneath the right, you're gonna lower to left shoulder and side of the head. You wanna make sure that your head and neck
are away from the shoulders. You don't want to be squished up. So you have a lovely mid-back twist and upper back release. And then ease your way back center. Flow one, cow and cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Thread the needle on the other side. Scoop the little right arm through, resting to shoulder and side of the head. And this arm, the other arm, can wrap behind your back if you want that extra twist, keeping the chest nice and open. Or it can just stay right there. And then tabletop. Flow one, cow and cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Back to a flat back, and we're coming into a seated pose. Back to Sukhasana. Sukha means ease, easy pose. So if it is not an easy pose for you, feel free to sit up on a blanket, on a block, stretch a leg, stretch both legs, whatever feels right. We're gonna take some time in upper back and neck. We've done some really good strengthening, so I wanna take a little time to make sure we're doing some stretching to make sure that that's nice and balanced. So shoulders back and down, spine's nice and straight. We're gonna start with eagle arms. So with eagle arms, we're gonna sit up nice and tall, shoulders are soft and down. We're gonna add a little bit of movement in these eagle arms to get a bit more release. So stretch your arms straight out in front of you, about shoulder height, and then you're gonna wrap your right arm underneath your left, above the elbows, twisting into eagle arms. Shoulders stay back and down, elbows in line with the shoulders. Now we're gonna move gently with the breath. So with an inhale, slowly lift up through the elbows, let your eyes follow the fingers. And as you exhale, elbows back to the shoulders. Next inhale, draw the arms over to the right. Just pull them across your body. And then as you exhale, come back center. Here, take an inhale. As you exhale, draw your belly in, round out your back, bring your elbows in, tuck your chin, and then take a big inhale. And exhale. And then slowly come up. Unwind your arms, stretch them out to the sides, and then release them behind you with fingers pointed away. We're going to take again a bit of a counter stretch, an opposite action stretch, shoulders back and down, lift up through the heart, lift up through the chin, inhale, and exhale, softly center. Okay. Same for the other side. Arms stretch out. This time, left arm goes underneath the right, twisting into eagle arms. Shoulders are back and down, elbows start in line with the shoulders, and we'll gently move with the breath. Inhale, lift up through the arms, let your eyes follow the fingers. Exhale, elbows back to the shoulders. Might be a very small movement. Inhale to the left, and exhale, back center. Inhale here. Exhale, draw the belly in. Elbows into the belly, chins tucked, opening up that upper back, and a big inhale. The inhale will fill up all those spaces, giving an extra stretch from the inside out. And then exhale. And then as you inhale, just breathe comfortably here. Come up, unwind, release. Hands go behind, fingers point away. Shoulders roll back and down. With an inhale, lift up through the heart, relax the head and neck. And exhale, back center. Now we're going to go into neck, spending some extra time with neck. Because we've been sitting like this for a little bit, you can cross the opposite leg in front for balance. You can stay right where you are, that's your choice. But do make sure your tailbone is reaching for the earth. The spine is nice and straight, the shoulders are back and down, and there's lots of space between ear and shoulder. When we go into deeper stretches, alignment and relaxation throughout the whole body is even more important. So shoulders are back and down, spine's nice and straight, lifting right up through the top of the head. And then when you're ready with an exhale, let it exhale, drop an ear to a shoulder. On that next breath, let your head get heavy. Just let it drop in, keeping the shoulders soft and down, lifting up through the heart. So it's an active relaxation. We're engaged. Just simply letting the head get heavier and trying not to hold it up adds to the stretch. Then we're gonna add on the side of the neck that you're stretching, you're gonna reach that arm straight out so the fingers point down towards the floor and they can touch the floor. Here, it's a diagonal line. Keep the spine up, keep the shoulders open. You'll feel that extra release and stretch. Head still nice and heavy. Removing layers of resistance rather than pushing into this. And then add in a bit more. Flex that wrist, spread the fingers. Maybe move the fingers around a little bit. I'm always interested, I can't say surprised at this point, but interested in when I have teenagers do this, how much they just wince when they do this. Their lifestyle with their devices and their overdeveloped thumbs at this point, this gives them so much counter stretch release from that chronic activity. So pull those texting thumbs back. And then relax the hand back to neutral. Wrap the arm behind your back, so the back of the hands resting in low back, shoulders back and down, elbows draws back. The head's still tipped, and then you simply rotate to gaze down towards the shoulders. Shoulders still soft. You're gonna feel that move a little bit farther back. A lot of muscles in the neck holding that heavy head up. So we wanna position it differently to get at all those different angles, so we don't end up with some tension and tightness in our neck and then relaxation in other areas. We want to try to get every angle. One more breath. And then we're going to mindfully ease out of this because we're in a pretty deep stretch right now. So first, hand goes back to the knee. Then the head and neck come up. Then a couple rolls for the shoulders. Just make sure energy's flowing. It hasn't pooled in any area too much. And we'll do the other side. Shoulders back and down, spines nice and straight, chins parallel to the floor, tip the head the other way. Take your time. If you have very tense and tight neck and top of the shoulder muscles, this can be a shock to your system when you start to release them. So one breath at a time. As you exhale, soften, release. We got all the time to practice this. You can practice this anytime you want. And then we'll add on a bit. On that side that you're stretching, reach that arm straight out, fingertips, reach down to the floor, diagonal line, just open that whole line of energy. Exhale, soften. Next level, flex the wrist, spread the fingers, give a little bit of tension and movement, make sure you're feeling each area that's tight. And then using that exhale to release that tension and tightness. Inhale's draw in energy, exhales release it. And if the energy is tension and tightness, you want to make sure the exhale is releasing that. Sometimes we want to draw that in for structure and strength. Not right now. And then relax the hand. Relax that arm behind you, back of the hand to low back, shoulders back and down, elbows draws back, and the head simply turns to look towards the shoulder. Get a little farther back, stretch there. And then to back out again, we're going to return the hand first. We're going to bring the head and neck back up. We're going to give a couple rolls to the shoulders. Good. The rest of the practice is going to be in the supine position. This would be where you would use the block if you have one. So when you lay down, try to have that in reaching distance so you don't have to move too much. And then go ahead and roll down onto your back. Taking a moment to get comfortable in the supine posture, laying on your back. Our next exercise is the bridge pose. Like the locust pose to strengthen the whole back, the bridge pose is about the stability and structure through the hips and the pelvic floor. Unbelievably important pose to be practicing regularly. So feet are about hip distance apart, feet are pointed forward. We're going to press down into the feet and lift up through the hips to enter bridge. You're going to draw your shoulder blades together, rolling your arms underneath you, and feel free to interlock the fingers. Back of the neck is stretched long, and make any adjustments you need. Chin is tucked towards the chest and the eyes are gazing towards the belly button. press down through the arms as you open that heart and chest space. Lift up through the hips, pelvic floor is drawing up. Knees are right over and in line with the big toe. Well, they're over the ankle, but aligned with the big toe. You don't want your knees to collapse in, and you don't want this wide open stance. Press into the feet, lift up through the hips. Send those knees right out over the big toe. Sometimes we say things in yoga that are so weird, but also make sense, like send your knees out over your big toe. It does make sense. Okay, one more breath. And then we're slowly gonna roll back down. Taking a moment to let the spine release back to the floor. You can draw your knees up towards your chest. And then from here, we're gonna slide the hands underneath the hips to elevate the hips just slightly. This is a lower core exercise. With legs pointed up to the ceiling, we're gonna do single leg lowering. So extend and release your right leg down without letting it touch. And then back up. Left leg. Back up. We're gonna do 4 more sets just like that. Taking your time so you can feel the muscles working, effort here. Fine balance of effort and ease. It's amazing how quickly I lose count. I'm gonna say 2 more sets. I mean, if we do 1 more and we end up with 6 sets, that is absolutely fine, good for us. 1 more. Good. And then you're gonna release your hands, bend your knees, and lower your heels down. Again, if you're on a traditional yoga mat, the heels would go to the outer edges of the yoga mat and the toes would tap off. This is windshield wiper twist. So you're simply gonna let your knees flop over to one side. Arms move into the T position with palms up here. Now, technical alignment, the big toe would be aligned directly with the top of the knee here. I have a little bit wider stance, which feels good to my body. And then you wanna make sure you're not squished up by ear and shoulder. So simply like lock your shoulder blades down and then stretch up out of those shoulders. If you were squished up when you do that, you'll feel this extra release across your chest and your arms. 1 more breath. And then roll back center. Keep that nice wide foot stance and let the knees drop over to the other side. Again, checking, making sure we're not squished ear to shoulder by just lengthening through the top of the head. Shoulders stay locked down and then just gently scoop that way. 1 more breath, releasing hip flexors, hips. And then rolling back center. Bring your feet back in line with your hips. Now this would be where you would use the block if you do have one. We're going into double knee twist. So knees come up to a right angle, block goes between the knees. Knees are right above the hips and heels are pointed straight forward, arms into the T position. Inhale at the top, and as you exhale, let the knees drop over to one side without letting them touch, and then slowly back up and over to the other side. Slowly back up. And we'll do 4 more sets, and we'll try to count properly. I'll just stay with it and count. I won't commentate this whole experience here, although there's a lot of important things to say. You want to take your time. You want to hover there. You're getting that squeeze. Moving slow as you lift and lower the knees are going to strengthen the oblique muscles. 2 more sets. And at the edges here of the twist, you're giving your nervous system a nice squeeze and roaring out, calming the nervous system as a result. We want that. 1 more set. She guesses. Good. And then you can set the block off to the side, lower the feet down. We'll take a centering stretch here with an inhale, arms up, legs long. We're coming into our closing here. Relax the arms back down, and we're going into figure four. So knees bend in. Cross the right leg over the left, shins parallel to the floor. Bring your knees towards your chest. You can interlock your hands behind the thigh, over the shin for a deeper stretch, or here you could use a strap behind the left leg if your flexibility is a little limited, wherever you feel comfortable. Drawing the knees in, and then gently press the tailbone down to the floor. That flat back of the hip area is going to give an even deeper stretch through the muscles that we're stretching, the glute muscles. One more breath here. And then you're going to lower the feet down and switch sides. Bring the knees in. Nice deep breath. Tailbones pressed to the floor, shoulders are relaxed. Bringing those knees in as much as you like. And then lower the feet down. And again, we're taking a centering stretch. This is closing out, lengthening fingers to toes. Exhale, relax down, and we're headed into reclining tree. Slide your right foot up for reclining tree pose. Take a moment, take a breath, let the body feel heavy. Giving these last few moments for mind-body integration. Feeling the relaxation in your body. Feeling the breath flow more smoothly, less obstructed by tense, tight muscles. That's the reward of your practice. And then release that right leg out and let the left leg slide up, reclining tree pose. Again, a deep breath. Exhale. Allow yourself to explore deeper layers of relaxation here. Softening from head to toe. And then that leg slides out, and we'll go into suitability, reclining bound angle. Bring the bottoms of the feet up together, let the knees drop open. Again, deep breath, inhale. And exhale, soften. Just allow yourself to sink into this posture. These moments of mind-body integration are important to allow our whole awareness become aware of how relaxed our body is as a result of this practice. If we just quickly ran off, we wouldn't have that chance to feel what we actually accomplished here today. One more breath. And then bring the knees up. And our final stretch, arms out, legs long, or arms up, legs long. Stretch fingers to toes. And exhale, release. Head to toe body scan. Soften the muscles around the eyes. Let the eyes rest in their sockets. Let your brain rest in its skull. Release the jaw. Let go of all facial expression. Let the whole head rest heavy. Soften the muscles down the neck, across the chest. Let the whole body rest heavy. From the shoulders down the spine to the hips, from the hips down the legs to the heels. And take a breath and take a moment to feel that relaxation from head to toe. And you're more than welcome to stay here as long as you like, integrating mind and body, enjoying this deeper level of relaxation. But this is where we shall end this practice.
Thank you for joining me in this gentle flow level 1.5 practice today. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to see other levels of yoga videos that I have. Thank you.